again, ahead of the NFL draft, we're waiting for head coach Kevin O'Connell, but right now Justin Jefferson is at the podium. So let's listen to him.
Who's ready for that moment and who's ready to step up and take that initiative.
I remember you talking about wanting to work with JJ this offseason. Just did you get a chance to do that?
Yeah, have been doing that, and it's been going very well. So just trying to continue meeting up with him, creating that time and creating that connection, building on those type of things, talking to him about the different things that he should work on, different things I should work on, and just keeping that connection and that relationship is the big thing. So we'll continue to do that, continue to work with, Kyler and all of the quarterbacks that I can work with, just so we know that connection is top tier when we start training camp.
What else has your offseason looked like? What have you added to your training regimen?
Yeah, I mean, nothing really too new. Just all about, of course, tapping in on the weaknesses that I have, focusing on the strengths that I have, and just trying to figure out different ways that I can better my game in any sort that I can. If it's, working on my hand-eye coordination, working on my catching, working on my routes, working on just having to go through those double teams, having to go through contact, getting stronger in the weight room, all of those different type of things. So just taking a little bit pieces of each little thing and just adding it to my game.
How have you gone about trying to build a relationship with Kyler at the same time as you're working with JJ as well?
Yeah, I mean, Kyler's, a little bit new, so he's still kind of working into things, trying to figure out, everything here in Minnesota. So, now that we're kind of, back into the mix of things, back into the schedule, we're going to work a lot more now than, leading into this moment.
At what point, too, does it become important, Justin, to know who the quarterback is going to be, just from the rep standpoint of you and that player? Because you can work with McCarthy and Kyler. I'm sure that they have their own styles and tendencies. At what point do you sort of need to know who's going to be starting just to maximize your playing ability?
Yeah, I mean, that's literally a very difficult question because we're not really going to know that until after training camp. So it's just all about just working with them as much as I can, working and try to build that repetition over and over again. Because at the end of the day, I feel like it's more of a quarterback thing than it is a receiver thing. I mean, I see it out the hand and I catch the ball. For them, it's just more of, well, I would say for Kyler, just trying to time up my route running, how fast I'm running, how quick I'm running, how fast I'm getting in and out of the breaks. So those are kind of the things that I feel like it's more for a quarterback than it is for a receiver.
Justin, when the Vikings signed Kyler, Kevin talked a little bit about his mobility and the way that can help maybe open things up.
Yeah.
Defenses have to think about that while they're trying to cover you.
Mm-hmm.
When you played with whatever degree of mobile quarterbacks, how much have you seen that affect the way defenses play, and how much do you think that could help you out?
Yeah, it affects it tremendously. It's a difference from somebody that's playing Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady type of quarterback from playing Kyler Murray, Lamar Jackson. It's a little bit different. You got to have a little bit more people in that box, a little bit more people kind of eyeing them down. Might have a quarterback contain, quarterback spy. So kind of all of those things kind of playing a part into those defenses, and kind of allows us to, on the back end, go against those DBs and safeties and not have to rely on a whole bunch of double teams and those cloud coverages that we've been getting a lot of these past 2 years.
Justin, I know during Super Bowl you were asked a lot about the quarterback play, how you guys probably maybe would have been in that conversation for the Super Bowl had you had your arm. Do you feel like with the acquisition of Murray and the competition in that room, that puts you guys right back in those Super Bowl conversations?
Oh, yeah, for sure, especially just like you said, sparking up that room a little bit and kind of seeing who's going to be that competitor, who's going to be that person that, is the last man standing at this situation. It's pretty exciting for me. I love those type of battles, that type of competition, because you see that in your quarterback. He had a whole competition battle, the training camp leading into the season, and, have everybody on his back and rooting for him and excited for him to, go through the season. So I'm excited for that for sure. And we have great talent in that room. So especially for JJ to, get that spark in him, and for Kyler to, come from Arizona and, continue that spark and to, go through this new journey with him.
What was it like to see Sam in the Super Bowl?
It was phenomenal, honestly. I was very excited for him, very happy for him. He's been through a lot his whole entire journey. So, for him to, win this Super Bowl and for him to continue to, be bright and to shine, and it was amazing. I was very, very happy for him.
Justin, what are your weaknesses?
That's something I try to, understand every single day. It's just, I wouldn't say weaknesses, but, there aren't totally my strengths. So it just would be just locking in when I'm tired, and that's the most hardest part for any athlete, is to lock in when they're tired at their most vulnerable times. And then also keeping up my strength, making sure that I'm, holding on the contact, making sure that I'm still fighting through those people that's trying to put hands on throughout my route running, and those defenses where it gets really physical. So just trying to maintain that.
How tough was it now, reflecting back on 2025, because you played a ton, your stats were down, you don't really control that at your position. As you reflect on that now, how difficult was the season? Because it was a healthy season where you probably didn't maximize yourself, but it really wasn't.
Yeah, productive, right. Yeah, that's tough. It was just one of those seasons that you can't really reflect on too much, but you can reflect on it in a good way, which is taking the good things, the positive things out of last season, and then continue to work on those things leading up until this next season. So it's just not really much to really think of negatively. Every single season is not going to be that 1,500, 1,800 plus yard season. So it just one of those learning curves, one of those things that you kind of just got to continue putting in that work, and then it's all going to pay off on the back end.
Last couple for Justin.
When you were working with JJ, what did that look like? Did you out of California, or were you guys?
No, we was at a designated location. We was at a a good location. Some here in Minnesota, mostly here in Minnesota, but really just anywhere where we can meet up and can find time to really throw the ball to each other. And it really doesn't have to be that having to run 30 different routes, but it's all about just feeling the ball coming and seeing the ball coming out of his hand, and then just feeling the impact and the velocity of his football. So it's great to just get that time in our pack. Of course, starting way earlier now than starting in training camp. So just getting a little head start, and it definitely feels good working with him for sure.
Justin, anything you noticed different with JJ at all? You mentioned the delivery speed. Anything,
yeah.
Mechanics-wise, you noticed it changed at all?
Mechanic-wise, I feel like that's more of a KO's question. I'm not really looking too much of the mechanics, but I am looking at the timing of when he's throwing the ball, the location where he's throwing the ball at, and I feel like he's a lot more confident into where I'm going to be at, how fast I'm going to get there, what timing to throw that ball before I break. He's kind of understanding all of that, and just like I said before, it comes with time. It comes with just seeing it, repetition, and seeing it over and over again. So by this time next year, he's going to be an even totally different quarterback than he is now. So just trying to work with him every single chance that I get, trying to fix the little things that we can fix. But at the end of the day, he's not perfect, and we're not expecting him to be perfect. So just trying to get him as close to perfect as we can.
Justin, you've gone to some Timberwolves games and formed that connection with Ant Edwards. Just with them and the Wild being in the playoffs right now, do you plan to hit up any games, support those guys?
Maybe so. I haven't been to a hockey game before, so I might have to, swing by that. Right. I heard it was crazy atmosphere, good time. So I might have to go check that one out. But Timberwolves definitely got to sneak in there and give me a game or two for sure.
Thanks, Justin.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And the Vikings wide receiver at the podium at TCO Performance Center, Eagan, again, waiting to hear from